Hello, it's TechTuber here, and today we're going to see what's better, the Moto G or the HTC Desire 300. Okay, now to build. The Moto G is built out of plastic but does not feel cheap in the hand. Has a micro SIM slot and you can also customize the back. The only con is that you cannot take out the battery. Okay, now to the HTC. The HTC is very similar to the Moto G, where it's built out of plastic but does not feel cheap in the hand. The main difference is that you can take the battery out of the HTC, unlike with the Moto G. But with the HTC you cannot customize the back. So, including everything, I think the Moto G and the HTC draw in build quality. Okay, now to size. The HTC is bigger than the Moto G. But even though the HTC is bigger, the HTC has a smaller screen than the Moto G. This is because it has its buttons off the screen, unlike the Moto G where they're on screen. The advantages of having the buttons off screen is that it means the buttons won't take up any space. But with the Moto G the buttons are on the screen, meaning it will take up space. The only advantage is when watching videos you'll have more screen space. This is why I think the HTC and the Moto G draw in size. Okay, now to specs. The HTC is running Android's older software, Jelly Bean, unlike the Moto G where it's running Android's newer software, KitKat. The HTC has a dual-core 1GHz CPU, unlike the Moto G where it has a quad-core 1.2 GHz CPU. Because of the CPU and the newer Android software, I think the Moto G will run faster and smoother than the HTC. This is why I think the Moto G wins in specs. Okay, now on to what you get inside the box. Of the Moto G, you get a charging cable, user guide, and also the box is actually made out of a thin cardboard. You don't get a charging plug or headphones. They did this to cut down on price. But with the HTC, you get everything you would expect. You get the charging cable, charging plug, user guide, and also headphones. So the HTC has a lot more inside the box. That's why I think it wins. The speaker on the Moto G is at the back, unlike the HTC where it's at the front, just like the HTC One. So because of this, the HTC has way better sound quality than the Moto G, and that is why it wins in sound. Okay, now on to camera and video quality. The Moto G and HTC both have a 5MP camera. Both of them deliver very poor pictures, but the Moto G is slightly better than the HTC in pictures and also videos. This is why the Moto G wins in camera and video quality. Okay, now on to battery. With the HTC you can take out the battery, unlike with the Moto G. The HTC is up to 11 hours talk time, that's fine for an average day. But the Moto G is up to 24 hours talk time. That means you can get to charge it for a night and still use it the day after. This is why I think the Moto G wins in battery. Okay, now to price. The HTC is cheaper than the Moto G, only costing £116, unlike the Moto G that costs £3 more, £190. Now, even though the Moto G is more expensive, it has 8GB of storage, unlike the HTC that comes with 4GB of storage. With the HTC you can upgrade it unlike the Moto G, but still you're only paying £3 more to get an extra 4GB. That is why the Moto G wins in price. Okay, now overall. I think the Moto G is better than the HTC Desire 300. It has better battery life, better specs, better price and a better camera. Where the HTC Desire 300 only has better sound and has more in the box. It does draw on size and build, but even though it's drawn on size and build, the Moto G is still one more. This is why I think the Moto G is the best bang for your buck. Thanks for watching and subscribe.